This finds all of you guys well. There's been some issues with people setting up the problem of the week, so we're going to go over how you start it. I'm not going to answer the whole thing for you, but I'll give you one of the sides. So let's go ahead and read through it real quick. Lexi and her family are camping at a lake. Lexi and her grandfather were told about a good fishing hole. The camper that told them about the fishing hole drew a map of the lake on a coordinate plane. See below, along with the given coordinates. So if you guys are ever at a lake and you don't have a map and you have some graph paper, you can always make a map for your fellow campers so you can show them a fishing hole. Yeah, the scenario is not realistic. I get it. You'll notice that Olson went ahead and gave the coordinates of the campground, bait shop, and the fishing hole. It's basically because the campground students sometimes say it's 5'8", sometimes they say it's 5'9", so we just pick one so you don't have to pick. It makes it easier for us to grade. Another thing you need to pay attention to here is that the scale on the map is 50 meters, which means each one of these little boxes is 50 meters. So you're going to need to consider that when you're giving your final answer. All right, let's figure out what we have to do now. Lexi and her grandfather are going by boat directly from the campground to the bait shop. So they're going from the campground right here to the bait shop right there. That's their first trip. And then straight to the fishing hole. So they're going to get supplies and then go to the fishing hole here. And then after they're fishing, after they catch the limit, they will go straight back to the campground. Conveniently, they're going to make a triangle. Draw the path the boat will travel, then write the ordered pair that represents each place the boat will stop at. Nice for you guys. We've already done that, so don't worry about that. That part's done. So what you need to do, though, is determine the total distance they will travel by boat. Shall work necessary to justify your work. So what I would actually do is use the distance formula. I would go ahead and plug in. So I'll set it up for the first one. I'm not going to solve it. If you guys want to know how to solve it, you can watch the video from last week's PoW. I have walked through how to solve one of these. And if you did last week's homework, you figured it out too. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Let's say the campground is the X value is it. So 5. I'm going to subtract negative 12. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding. So plus 12 squared plus, and then the same thing here. The y value of the campground is 8. The y value of the bait shop is negative 3. Once again, I'd be subtracting a negative value, so that's the same as adding. Okay, so that's how you'd set it up for the red line. Okay, now the other way to set it up would be by making a right triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and draw this line going up. I always make the line a little bit bigger than I need it to be. So we're not going to use that part anyways. It doesn't really matter. Okay, we have that. Now I've made a right triangle. And then for all intents and purposes, this red line now becomes a hypotenuse. We can just call it C. So now we just count the sides of the triangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to go write that over here. It's 11. Now a lot of you guys, a lot of students make the mistake of starting at 1 and going to 2. Remember, you don't get to count a distance until you've moved. So, all right, same thing going horizontally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This top is 18 units. Okay, now the way I could set this up using the Pythagorean theorem is pretty straightforward. Once again, if you want to know how to use a Pythagorean theorem to solve this, you can go ahead and use last week's or one of the previous week's videos, or just type into YouTube Pythagorean theorem. Okay, 11 squared plus 18 squared equals c squared. All right, so once you figure that out, that will give you the distance here. Now, please keep in mind, I pointed this out earlier, that's the number of boxes on the map. That's not actually the distance. The distance isn't going to be whatever that number is. The distance is going to be whatever that number is multiplied by 50. Okay, so keep that in mind. So that will give you the answer for one of the sides of this triangle. Now you need to figure out how to find the green side and the blue side. When you're done with finding all those, you just add them together, and that is your final answer. All right, hope this was helpful. Enjoy the rest of your week.